Hey guys, so my topic today is Edward Theodore Gein. Before I get started, let me show you a picture of him. Look at that. That's a scary guy. Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs are all famous horror movies that to this day still sends chills down anyone's spine. However, would you be more horrified if you knew that those were based off real life events from Edward Theodore Gein? Gein was a famous serial killer back in the 1950s and has somehow been forgotten along the way. Honestly, it's pretty interesting. You can find out what some of the movie producers get their ideals from. I've always loved documents and serial killer shows and horror movies. I have watched Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre several times and different versions of it. I've also watched Silence of the Lambs several times. When I was watching them, I just wanted to know, is this something that happened in real life? So I did some research and found out that it was inspired by Ed Gein. Edward Theodore Gein was born on August 27, 1906 in Plainfield, Wisconsin. According to John Philip Jenkins, in the biography of Ed Gein, American serial killer, Gein had a really difficult childhood. His father was an alcoholic, and his mother would verbally abuse him. Despite his mother's abuse, Gein still idolized her. They had a really weird relationship. Gein's mother moved them to a farm, really far away from the town. He could only leave to go to school, and she would not let him have any type of friendships. Nobody could ever come over. Gein also had a brother. His name was Henry. His brother would ask him about their relationship a lot, his mother's relationship. According to Wisconsin Sickness, in 1944, the police suspected Gein of killing his brother. The charges were dropped because the coroner decided that he died trying to fight a fire that was present on the farm, even though he had a blow to his head. Now that I've told you a little about Edward Gein's life, I want to tell you how he became a famous serial killer. According to A&E Television Network website, his first murder was Bernice Worden. When police arrived at the farm, Gein's farm, they saw Worden's headless and her body was gutted, hanging from the ceiling. Detectives even discovered organs in jars, skulls used as soup bowls, human skin was made into lampshades, and used the skin also as chair seats. Ceiling lights were made out of human lips, and socks even were made out of human skin. Gein also confessed to killing another lady, Mary Hogan. Gein would dig up numerous corpses for body parts, making masks, suits out of skin to wear around his house. Now that I've told you about how he became a famous serial killer, I will discuss the movies that were inspired by his life. Horror movies, as we know, are fake, but there are some parts that are very true. Like, for instance, Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Psycho was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and he used Norman Bates' character that was inspired by Ed Gein because of his relationship with his mother. Silence of the Lambs was directed by Jonathan Demme in 1991, and there was a part in the movie where the character took skin and he sewed it into a suit. Well, that was inspired by Gein's life because he would take skin and make it into clothes, and he would wear it around his farm. And last but not least, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was directed by Tobe Cooper. It was inspired by all the details in Gein's farm. The body parts, the body decor, the cannibalism, and even the mask wearing. In conclusion, always remember those horror movies that I just talked about. Next time when you're watching a horror movie, just think about how real this just might be.